Over the past few years, the comic book movie has become a staple in cinema. Unfortunately, this is to its detriment, as it has also become an oversaturated genre with an emphasis on quantity over quality. So sitting down last night and watching Dredd 2012 was a breath of fresh air. Based on a comic book series created by John Wagner, Dredd tells the story of a police force whose employees play judge, jury, and executioner all at once, fighting crime in a city rife with scum and villainy. The comic is dark, gritty, and adult-centric, and was no stranger to film adaptations before 2012. A Judge Dredd film starring Sylvester Stallone came out in the late 90s, and this film received, well, less than stellar feedback from audiences and critics. So rebooting the comic for film once again was a huge risk to say the least, and I'm happy to say that it paid off. The film has a simple enough premise. Dredd is tasked to train a rookie with powerful psychic abilities for a day, as the two are called to an inner-city complex to investigate a triple homicide. The two soon find themselves trapped in the complex by a drug lord, Mama, and must fight to take her down and get out of there. It's shorter than other comic book films that came out around that time, such as Dark Knight Rises or The Avengers. Where these films clock in at over 2 hours long, Dredd is able to quickly and efficiently tell its story, and thus clocks in at a cool, rough 95 minutes. The scenes in which characters are on drug trips are highly stylized, and oddly beautiful to watch. There's a scene in which a character doses on a drug called slow-mo, which causes time to seemingly slow down for the person taking the narcotic. The world around them then becomes very colorful, with pretty sparkling effects indicating the recipient's perception of the world around them changing. A person falling to their death from the top of a building is quick and sudden to us, but to a person on slow-mo, this fall can seem to last for hours. A bullet passing through a human skull comes out the other end in a beautifully horrifying splash of blood and sinew. It's absolutely mesmerizing to watch, and it leaves you unable to look away. The character of Cassandra, the rookie, is a fish out of water who wants to make a difference for the better in the world around her. She was raised in this complex and knows that not everyone is a criminal or a druggie. Some are honest people trying to live within their means, and these people's lives just happen to be thrown out of the balance or even ended by their criminal overlords who take no notice of the people they hurt, and instead focus their tunnel vision on taking down Dredd and Cassandra. When Mama locks down the facility and says it's going to stay shut until the judges are dead, Cassandra and Dredd spend the rest of the film trying to escape. We see them try and fight against and gun down citizens who are ultimately just trying to live their lives and who have self-preservation on their mind when they attempt to kill the judges. Most of them likely know that this is a bad situation that they're in. They don't want to be ruled over by Mama anymore, but they give in to fear when push comes to shove, resulting in the deaths of not only criminals, but parents of children and kids simply trying to survive being offed as well. It's a brutal glimpse into the true nature of humanity. Dredd is a mysterious character in this film. We don't know anything about his past, we get hints and glimpses into what he's about, but we're left looking at his body language and facial expressions to try and put the pieces together. One would think that this is difficult to do, since Dredd never takes off his helmet. However, the character is expertly portrayed by Karl Urban, who is able to effectively emote and act in spite of his face remaining covered for the whole film. The movie has a very grimy feel to it when characters aren't tripping on drugs. Peachtree, the complex in which the film takes place, feels lived in, filthy, and gross, and the bodies constantly piling up adds to the unpleasant feeling you acquire while watching this film. However, this filthiness only engrosses the audience more into the situation, causing them to be unable to look away from the carnage and action that crosses the screen. It's very well shot, with amazing practical and special effects. However, this film won't appeal to everyone, especially with its gratuitous blood and gore, as well as themes and references to sexual assault and copious amounts of foul language. These certainly made the film difficult for me to watch, and because of that I can't say I'll be watching it again anytime soon. If you can stomach it, however, this is a bloody brilliant take on the buddy cop genre that will leave you wanting more. Judge Dredd is a pretty solid action film. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.